Welcome to Frank Speaks, where we explore the most fascinating and baffling stories. Today, we are delving into the enigmatic case of David Hampson, the silent man who has repeatedly blocked a main road, refusing to explain why, despite facing prison time for his actions. He continues to repeat the offense upon release. What drives him to take such a stand? Let's unravel the mystery together, only on Frank Speaks. David Hampson has a history of going to prison for standing in the road, then repeating the offense once he is released. A man who repeatedly stands in the middle of a busy main road, then refuses to speak when arrested, was jailed at a point. David Hampson blocked the traffic outside Swansea Central Police Station, then refused to say anything to the police officers, lawyers, court staff, magistrates, or judges, leading to a trial to determine whether he can speak but chooses not to, or whether he is unable to speak, what is known as mute of malice or mute by visitation of God. The 51-year-old has been repeating the same pattern of blocking the traffic, remaining silent, then going back to the same spot and doing it again when he is released from court or from prison since 2014. As a matter of his behavior, he is subjected to criminal behavior order, banning from obstructing any public highway in Wales or England, a court order he repeatedly ignores. The most recent incident took place around 4:45 p.m. on December of 2021. Police officers were alerted to a man standing in the middle of the road, blocking traffic just yards from Swansea Central Police Station. A PC and two special constables went to see what was happening and found Hampson in the road near the junction with Mount Pleasant. Though the traffic lights were on green, vehicles at the junction were stationary. David Hampson was led to the side of the road by the PC and initially detained under the Mental Health Act. Once his identity were established from his driving license, he was arrested for breaching a criminal behavior order, an order which was imposed in 2017. Following similar behavior at that location, he made no reply when cautioned, nor when he was subsequently charged. Likewise, he remained silent the following day when he appeared at Swansea Magistrate Court and was remanded in custody, and said nothing during a hearing in Swansea Crown Court on May the 13th of the same year. Because the defendant refused to talk when asked to enter a plea at court, a not guilty plea was recorded on his behalf, and the matter went to trial at Swansea Crown Court. But before a jury decided whether he did obstruct the highway or not, it had to be determined whether Hampson was mute of silence or mute by visitation of God. That is, whether he could speak but chose not to, or whether there was some physical or other issues which prevented him from speaking. The jury found that he was mute of malice, and he did carry out the act of blocking the road and breaching his criminal behavior order. Following that finding by the jury, the judge ordered a psychiatric report into David Hampson in hope it could shed light on his behavior and subject possible help that he could be offered. However, the defendant refused to speak to the court-appointed doctor, so no interview could take place. In response, the court ordered that his medical records be produced and given to the psychiatrists, so at least some information was known. The case came back to court for a report from the psychiatric. The doctor concluded that though David Hampson's mutism is selective and deliberate, there may be social stresses and financial stresses that contributes to his decision not to talk. But the doctor said he was not able to make a diagnosis of any psychiatric or other condition, which would mean a hospital order could be suggested as a way of dealing with the defendant. David Hampson's road-blocking behavior began in 2014 when he was given a 2-year conditional discharge for 4 counts of willfully obstructing free passage along the highway. The following year, he was convicted of a public nuisance offense for the same behavior and made the subject of his first criminal behavior order. However, his behavior continued. He subsequently received custodial sentences after being convicted of breaching the court order in 2016 2017 and in 2018, when he was sentenced to 42 months in prison. Judge Rees said there may well be social stresses involved in David's decision not to speak, but in his view, the defendant's silence was the result of breathtaking arrogance and insolence on his part. He warned David that if he continued to breach the criminal behavior he is subjected to was inevitable, he would spend more and more time in prison. David, of no fixed abode, was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. He served half that period in custody before being released on license to serve the remainder in the community. The defendant remained silent throughout the sentencing hearing, not responding when asked to confirm his name and saying nothing when the judge asked him if there was anything he wished to tell the court. The brother to David Hampson, John Hampson, said it was just a ploy to get free meals and a roof over his head. He said, "He is not really mute. He never stops talking. It's quite simple really. He's a spoiled brat. There is nothing like a protest going on. He just does it to have a comfy life inside prison." On the day that he was released again, David was arrested for blocking traffic outside Swansea police station. When JPC granted bail, he did it again outside a court. In December, he got 6 months. But John of Swansea added, "There is nothing wrong with him. He acts dumb, but I can tell you that he is not." Thanks for joining me on this journey into the bustling world of David Hampson. His actions raises questions about protests, conviction, and the human spirit, and how crazy human beings can be. Share your thoughts and theories in the comment below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more thought-provoking content and the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time, keep exploring the unexplained, only on Frank Speaks.